Excuse my disheveled look today, but I love my Lime Warrior hat. I need to get some Lime Boss hats made. I need to know where she got this, and I think this is hemp, which is amazing. But I'm just feeling inspired, and that's typically when I feel inspired is when that makes sense. When I'm actually having some downtime and being creative and not go, go, go. It's really hard for the creative juices to flow when you're so rigorously scheduled. So unfortunately for me, for I would say for probably about 6 or 7 weeks straight now, I haven't had a day off. I've either been in class or building something with the business or researching something, but I actually haven't taken a day off, which is the exact opposite of what I would tell my clients to do. So I'm a big fan of not being a hypocrite. So I'm taking today off. And of course, as I'm taking today off, I'm just getting all these beautiful downloads that I wanted to share. So here we are. You might have seen my recent post lately talking about, I think it was like for Thursday night, Cellcore, which is a phenomenal freaking supplement company that I use to actually help people with SIBO, Lyme disease, mold, toxicity, heavy metals, and other parasites. Like, it's just a beautiful. And if you've ever seen the podcast that I did, look for the episode with the founder, Todd Watts. I'm hoping to have him on again. But they were talking about the carnivore diet, and I have talked shit throughout the years about keto and carnivore. My original background in nutrition was Weston A. Price, which totally made sense to me. Weston A. Price was a dentist who traveled all over the world and saw that these ancient cultures who were healthy and had healthy teeth, and what their diet was like. And they were all, soaking and sprouting nuts and grains. They were eating dairy, but it was only cultured dairy and raw dairy. So some very foundational things that just intuitively made a lot of sense to me, right? We've gotten way off track as far as kind of how and what we should be eating. And I think it's causing I know it's causing a lot of health issues. So, excuse me. So I'm always, that's why I don't have a day off. Part of it is because I have some weird worthiness issues. And if I'm not in action 24/7, my brain says that I'm not doing enough and I'm not worthy. But I'm working on that as well. But I'm always researching. Like, I don't think my clients know how much I'm constantly thinking about them and their protocol and what I can do to be heard, to be understood, to be more potent as a practitioner. Like, it's not, I had a person recently call me greedy in the past because halfway through her program, and after paying for labs and supplements, she asked for a refund. And I told her no. I said, this is actually written in the terms of agreements that you signed, that just because you think that something's too hard halfway through the program, like, I can't be given that kind of a discount, a refund back. I wouldn't be in business because you decided to change your mind. But she told me it was greed. And I had to laugh because I don't think people understand how low I keep my prices and how much I research and I'm constantly trying to stay cutting edge. Like, I mean, if you would probably put the two together of like what I'm charging and the time I put into things, I'm probably averaging like $12 an hour. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, and I need to fix that as well. Anywho, I digress. So I'm always looking for the cutting edge, for the truth. That's why I recently got into the bioenergetic work. So each step that I took, so Western A. Price, and then eventually it went into paleo because my clients at the time weren't going to soak and sprout and get raw milk, right? So it was easier to just take them off of grains and dairy and corn because of how inflammatory they are, how disease promoting they are, and how horrible they are for your gut. So, okay, Q paleo. Been doing great, lost weight, right? A lot of my brain fog's gone. Did the bioenergetic work. I'm sleeping better than I ever had. My moods are more stable than they've ever been in my life. Like, I feel like I'm in control over my emotions for the first time in my life. And I feel more peace and joy and gratitude than I ever have. And there's still a little level that when I work out with weights, even light weights, like, I'm in a lot of pain for many days afterwards. It's an unnatural response to the kind of weights that I'm lifting, right? And I'm still dealing with some pain, and I'm still dealing with a slight brain fog, and I'm still dealing with being overweight. So I love dialing shit in. Like, this is just, I guess I am a health hack, a biohacker. Like, I never realized that I was, but now that I've got my health to such an amazing level, you know, I've overcome 2 out of 3 autoimmune diseases, lost over 100 pounds, you know, put Lyme in remission, detox mold, you know, cavitation surgery, heavy metals, parasites, but there's still some lingering things. And I'm like, well, let's see if we can tweak this. So cue carnivore. So join me on my carnivore challenge. So as I weighed in this morning, I weighed in 192. I am going to start modified carnivore for about a week, where I'm going to have, I'm going to go down, I'm going to do intermittent fasting. I'm going to do lunch and dinner. And I'm going to, for one of those meals, have some vegetables. And then next week, I'm going to go into full carnivore, because you can run into something called oxalate dumping, and it can be very painful, and it can put you in kidney failure. And my diet, you know, so you have more to worry about this if you're coming from like a standard American diet and then going into carnivore, as compared to what I was doing with paleo. And I had already cut out a lot of oxalate type foods to begin with. So I really don't think it's going to be a big of an issue for me. But I'm doing it to help get this last 15 pounds off. I'm doing it to see if I can still just dial in that brain fog, you know, get rid of it a little bit more, and finally be rid of this chronic pain, you know. Even though it's gone from a level 7 every day to about a level 3, I'm still just over it. I still shouldn't just feel like, you know, wake up every day with pain. So this will be interesting. I'm still not a fan of dairy. Like my genes, I had a genetic test done. DNA says I have a higher risk for being lactose intolerant. From what I know, with a lot of the research that I've read, that dairy is just inflammatory to begin with in folks, mucus causing, forming. So I'll be doing, I did add back butter, which, oh, thank God. You know, even though that Mykonos stuff, you know, is decent tasting, but it's still, yeah. So I'm going to be doing modified carnivore for a week, while I cut stuff down. I'm going to start my Keto Mojo blood sugar glucose testing again. And then next week I'm going to go full on carnivore. And you want to talk about a mind fuck. Like, I can't even tell you the last 2 days since I decided to do this, like how much my brain has been like, what the hell are you doing? You need vegetables, you need fruit, you need this, like all the conditioning. And then I've recently, you know, I posted a YouTube video of a guy talking about how he reverses stage 3 colon cancer from eating beef and drinking water. Like, you know, I just, yeah. So it'll be interesting, because like I said, I'm always, you know, I want to do things, and I always want to do them on me first. And I have a couple clients that are actually really, really sensitive. And the bioenergetic work that I do really helps with that. I'm running myself a detox bath. Oops. Sorry. Sorry. So, yeah, I'm running a detox bath. So again, you take the shower head off because it's got the filter on it, right? And then I just put it in the water and I let it run, fill up the bathtub that way. And I use 4 cups of Epsom salt, because that is an amazing detox. Anywho, where was I? Oh yeah, super sensitive. Like, this is like the ultimate elimination diet, right? And it's great for people to do for 3 to 6 months, right? It's, God, think about that. 3 to 6 months to be able to completely reverse a lot of your gut issues and have a completely different life than where you're at right now. Totally worth it, I think. So yeah, there's, you know, so many clients who've got mast cell activation, leaky gut, like they can't hardly eat anything. They can't hardly take any supplements. And, you know, I'm going to most likely, depending on how I do with this, I'll probably be recommending it for folks to use either therapeutically. And, well, from what I've heard, you know, if you think about it, I love the way they say it. Plants are trying to kill you. Think about that. Plants produce their own form of pesticide. That's where the oxalates, the histamines, the salicylates, the lectins, those are all the plant's natural ways of producing a pesticide and keeping things from eating them. Animals can protect themselves by running away. Danger comes, they run the opposite way. Plants can't run, so they produce their own pesticide as a way of staying alive. They say in some small areas that like a little amount of fruit is okay, like very little. Because if you think about it, that's the only part of the plant that it's actually made for you to eat, right? For things to eat. It's a seed dispersal system, right? That's where the seeds are in the plant, and it wants you to eat that fruit so that way you can then poop it out down the road and make another plant. So yeah, this will be interesting. Stay tuned.